September 1st, 1989. Dear Diary, today I'm discussing Heathers the Musical, the pro shot. Heathers the Musical, based on a 1988 film of the same name, released a pro shot of the UK production of Heathers. Filmed in 2022, it was released later that year on some streaming services. Later, in March of 2023, it got a one-day cinema release and was released on more streaming services in 2023. Right, okay, mini disclaimer of, I think, about 2. Before I start the video, I know the show has a lot of, well, not a lot, but like a relative amount of controversy surrounding it online. And I know that because I'm a part of multiple musical theatre spaces online, and I want to keep it off this video. This video is wholly focused on the show and the pro shot, so if you could keep the discussing of that to a minimum, I would really enjoy that. Thank you. Right, if you know me, it's no surprise that I'm a Heathers fan. Like, I started off age 12, fully like Kubrick staring through my eyebrows, humming Meant to Be Yours on my way to English. To meet now 18 years old, sat as Veronica Sawyer in my bedroom, filming a silly little review of the pro shot. I love it, and when I found it, it was silly and little, but now it's not so silly and little, it's rather big. Right, this video is mostly going to discuss my likes and dislikes of the pro shot. I'm in no way qualified to do so, but I've got a tiny little microphone and I'm good at chatting shit, so I'm going to do it anyway.
Hello lads, Editor Maisie and Pablo here. This video turned out a lot more cynical than my intentions for it. Do apologise for that, that was not the goal. And I do talk quite positively about it near the end, and I talk more positively at the start. It's just in the middle I kind of get a bit stuck in a little bit of a negativity rut because of my personal feelings about some of the choices made. However, if anyone, I open up the comments for people to share their opinions, and I open up the comments for any creative team who might see this to talk about why the decisions were made, because obviously I have no idea, I wasn't in the room. I'm just a viewer sharing my opinion on the internet. So yeah, that's it from me. Take it away, Maisie, from a couple of days ago.
If I had a nickel for every time an unpopular girl got in with the popular kids in a musical adaptation of a cult classic film, which originally starred Barrett Wilbert Weed, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but where did it happen twice, right? Okay, before I start being critical and chatting shit, I'm gonna start on a nice positive note. The cast are all wonderful, I love them. Over the course of productions I've met many of them and they're all so lovely, and I've continued to support them on their socials after. They are amazingly talented, and if you look into the show you'd understand how just brilliant they all are. And the cast is made up of, I believe, 19 actors. They are Elsa Davidson as Veronica, Simon Gordon as JD, Madison Firth as Heather Chandler, Talari Hughes as Heather McNamara, Vivian Panker as Heather Duke, Vicky Lee Taylor as Miss Fleming and Veronica's mum, star of Saltburn, Andy Brady as Principal Gowan, Veronica's dad, and I believe Ram's dad, I think. Yeah. Oliver Brooks as the coach, as Kurt's dad, and yeah, Vari Angus as Martha Dunstock, Rory Phelan as Ram, Liam Doyle as Kurt, Hannah Lowther as New Wave Party Girl, Jermaine Woods as Preppy Stud, MJ Caldwell as Stoner Chick, May Tether as Drama Club Drama Queen, Eleanor Morrison Halliday as Young Republicanette, Chris Parkinson as Hipster Dork, and Ben Karen as Beleaguered Geek. The film credits the cast wonderfully by including an image of who they are next to their name. I really respect this. I know it's possible due to how small the cast is compared to other theatre and films, but it's a really nice detail to show the cast, and not just the leading cast, especially with a show like Heathers. I love the majority of the costumes for this show. I believe that each role was styled well, and especially the ensemble. I love the ensemble costumes. I have got a really big soft spot for the New Wave Girl outfit. I have the outfit, like I sourced everything and I found it, and However, the only costumes that I'm not like a big fan of are the Heathers costumes. I prefer the off-Broadway ones as they have little details that set them apart from each other. The UK costumes are simpler and as a result do look cheaper, but that's honestly just my opinion. I know plenty of people who love the costumes and prefer them to off-Broadway. That is just my opinion. I just think they look a bit too samey, if that makes sense. However, I believe that the Heathers actresses play the roles so well and they could genuinely do it in a t-shirt and leggings and it would be the exact same. And that's something that I do like about the UK production costuming, is that it uses light and stage presence in order to keep you looking at the Heathers rather than the ensemble or like any of the other characters. And I think that's a really clever thing because it's so subtle, and I find that that looks really good and it looks very effective.
Editing Maisie's back. I completely forgot to talk about Duke's quick change, which I think is phenomenal. I love drag artistry, and that is something very used in drag and performance art for a long time, and so I'm going to add a clip of it because it looks sick as fuck and I want to include it. So go on, Vivian Pancake.
A house dropped on her head, the witch is dead, ding dong. Move, bitch, it's my song. Sluts, burn up, bug-eyes, poser, warrior.
Okay, musicals tend to do this thing where when they go to other countries they change lyrics and edit the script slightly because of the culture in those countries. Like for example, Six in the UK, they have a line referencing GCSEs, which are our country's like end of high school exams. However, in other countries they don't do those, so they change things to like the Discovery Channel or like the History Channel or something along the lines of that, where the country would have heard of the Henry VIII's 6 wives from, if that makes sense. And Heathers does this, however, they change some lyrics to align to more UK culture. They also remove songs and replace them with other things which aren't just to do with the UK, and I'll touch on that in a second. However, I just wanted to make an explanation as to why this was done. Some of the changes made in the UK lyrics are the fact that in Big Fun they make reference to weed, and in the UK weed is illegal, so they took it out because, well, it's illegal here. You can reference it, however it's not as common in America, so I believe that's why they took the lyric out. And there's some of the biggest changes are they removed blue and they replaced it with You're Welcome from the junior version, but made the lyrics more adult. And they took Blue Reprise and replaced it with Never Shut Up Again. And whilst a part of me does miss Blue because of how much it leans into the dark comedy element of the show, I do fully agree that it needed to be changed, and You're Welcome is a change in the right direction. It takes the serious topic of date rape and it allows Veronica to win. It shows the real danger more so than the drunken comedy of Kurt and Ram. Like, the song does have comedic moments, however, it allows Veronica to really portray the danger she's in, and that's how they set up the song, rather than it's just Kurt and Ram being drunk and singing about the bollocks. It shows the actual danger that Veronica's in, because Veronica is in danger in Blue. It's just the song is more comedic, whereas in You're Welcome the song is more serious and plays to Veronica's actual danger that she's in.
Sluts, burn up, bug-eyes, poser, warrior.
Heathers fans are predominantly younger and have a big love for the show. For the film shows, they did a lottery for the audience to be able to attend the shows that they filmed for free, not including additional costs required to either go to London or get to the show. They also had a segment in the film in the cinema release where they had like a little interview with fans and they got to talk about how much they liked the show and their enjoyment of it, which I think is really nice because the show would not have lasted as long as it did at the other palace or in the UK as a whole without the fans. I don't even think it would have gotten this pro shop release. And now it's on its like 3rd UK tour. Like, they just announced it like about 2 weeks ago at the time of filming. And yeah, that probably wouldn't have been possible with fan support, because to be able to do things like 3 UK tours and have almost 2-year runs at the other palace, you need to be able to sell tickets, and without the fans that wouldn't be possible. And also in the pro shot, like on streaming services, they do keep like a little hint to that in like a little intro sort of thing. However, it's not the full like interview. However, I'm glad that they did keep some of that in, as the fans are what make Heathers really. Editing. The editing of the pro shot is interesting, and I'm not 100% sure if I like it, because once it gets into the show, like the actual bulk of the show, it's really good and I enjoy it a lot. However, the like scratchy, almost doodly style of the editing, like the cartoony bits, I'm not sure if they work well with the dark comedy element of the show. It makes it like seem more like joyous. I don't know if that's the right word to use, and it actually is, because the show itself has some really dark topics in it, and I'm not sure if the like doodly style works. However, I will say I do like that it's kind of in the style, really, I don't know, of a high school yearbook. I do have a yearbook, but like it's not like American, so please, if there's any Americans who have watched this far, tell me if that's what your yearbooks look like, because I've got no bloody clue. Once again, about the editing and how it doesn't really lean itself to the dark topics said in the show. I did find out about the show age 12, and even though I probably should have waited until I was a bit older, as an 18-year-old, looking back, I do 100% agree with these shows' 14 plus age range, and anyone younger than that with parental supervision, as it covers triggering topics that anyone younger can know about, but they shouldn't really be introduced to or intrigued by, really. And I just think that the cartoon editing like was a choice, and like it was a good choice, it was a strong choice. However, I feel like it wasn't exactly the right one for this tone of show. Like, it looks nice, but I feel like it doesn't aid in the show in a positive way. Right, I've seen the show 8 times at the time of recording, and I've watched the pro shot twice prior, and I rewatched it for the creation of this video. And I wanted to add this section to discuss how well it comes across on camera versus how well it comes across on stage. And like, my credentials are, these are all the theatre pictures that I've taken either outside of the theatre or inside of the theatre. It's just an array of me. One of my favourite things about it being filmed is that you can like really focus and hone in on everything. As someone who loves watching the ensemble and loves watching the like little things that the cast do with each other, I really like how, because it's filmed, you can see everything. Like, anytime you watch, you can focus on someone different, and I love that, because sometimes when you're in a theatre, things are blocked by the leads or staging, or when you're in the gods, it can be a little bit hard to see the stage. And with the pro shot, you can genuinely watch a different thing every time, depending on who you focus on, and I love that, and it's one of my favourite things. Also, it makes theatre accessible, which I am very, very pro. Accessible theatre, my love. Like, oh my god. I could talk about this for ages, but I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. You can watch the show from your home if you have a subscription to Amazon or Peacock. Amazon you can even get a free trial with, so if you have something to watch on, you can watch it. And having theatre accessible is amazing for those who can't afford to go or can't go for a variety of different reasons. Make theatre more accessible, please. However, I will say one difference I found was audience interaction was obviously limited, because you can't really play around with the audience if you've got to do the same thing about God knows how many times to get the shots right. And I just feel like it loses a little bit of the like heart that the show has when you can't interact with the audience. Like, no two shows are the same as each other, and it's so wonderful to watch. And I will say, they did try their best. They added the Steve moment to the pro shot, and they have all the interaction, but it's different. Okay, despite my criticisms and my like little like negativity, I really do enjoy watching the Heathers Pro Shot, and genuinely, I don't have that much negative to say about it. I normally would discuss the acting, however, I don't have anything to say other than I loved it. Like, I don't really like... It was just good acting. And I love acting. And I love this show. And it was so good. I just love this show. I don't know what else to say. I love it so much. I could do like a full-on 30-minute compilation of me going, I love it, I love it, I love everyone, I love Veronica Sawyer, I love Heather Duke, I love everyone. Like, genuinely. Like, I don't... Anyways, I really enjoyed. Okay, let's... Okay, seriously, I do hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, I would love it if you would like, subscribe, share, yada yada yada, do all that, and I will see you next time. Bye!